Well, good evening. Welcome, and please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So that's
Clerk, call the roll, please.
Saunders.
Here.
Rhodes.
here.
Spinks.
Here.
Kochi.
Here.
Mizek.
Here.
And Fluharty.
Here. Okay, can I have a motion to excuse Councilman Janutis by Fluharty, second by Spinks? Call the roll, please.
Saunders.
Yes.
Rhodes.
Yes.
Spinks.
Yes.
Kochi.
Yes.
Mizek.
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes. Council, you have the minutes of the work session of November 4th, 2019. Any corrections? Seeing none, motion for acceptance by Mizek, second by Rhodes. Call the roll.
Saunders.
Yes.
Rhodes.
Yes.
Spinks.
Yes.
Kochi.
Yes.
Mizek.
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes. And you have the minutes of the regular meeting of November 4th, 2019. Any corrections to that? Seeing none, can I have a motion for acceptance by Spinks, second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please.
Saunders.
Yes.
Rhodes.
Yes.
Spinks.
Yes.
Kochi.
Yes.
Mizek.
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes. Under old business, ordinance number 9738-19.
Being an ordinance, well, actually, can we get a motion to table this? When
I
I
think
give
we
you
had to read it and then I would table it.
Okay. Being an ordinance to make appropriations for current expenses and expenditures of the city of Bedford during the year 2020 and declaring an emergency.
And it's our wish to table it because we are not done with the budget hearings yet. We'll have two more departments to go. Motion for table. Mizek, second by Saunders. Call the roll, please.
Saunders.
Yes.
Rhodes.
Yes.
Spinks.
Yes.
Kochi.
Yes.
Mizek.
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes. Ordinance number 9739-19.
Authorizing the city manager to sign a grant of conservation easement to West Creek Conservancy and declaring an emergency.
And a motion for suspension by Spinks, second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please.
Saunders.
Yes.
Rhodes.
Yes.
Spinks.
Yes.
Kochi.
Yes.
Mizek.
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes. Motion for third and final by Saunders, second by Rhodes. Frank? Oh no, Mike, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor. West Creek Conservancy is an organization that helps with various improvements. They're a nonprofit. We have a large tract of land that we own. Primarily, it's right behind Palmetto Woods condominiums, down into the creek and all of the acreage behind that. It's north of 30 plus acres. There is some erosion going on both sides of the banks, and in working with Tinker's Creek, one of the land organizations, they had referred us to West Creek. West Creek can, by entering into an agreement like this at no cost to the city, they can go in and do some remediation repairs to that property through this easement, and that's what this is intended to do.
Very good. Questions? Call the roll, please.
Saunders.
Yes.
Rhodes.
Yes.
Spinks.
Yes.
Kochi.
Yes.
Mizek.
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes. Ordinance number 9740-19.
An ordinance amending chapter 1949 entitled Signs of the Codified Ordinance of the City of Bedford as amended and declaring an emergency.
A motion for suspension by Mizek, second by Saunders. Call the roll.
Saunders.
Yes.
Rhodes.
Yes.
Spinks.
Yes.
Kochi.
Yes.
Mizek.
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes. Motion for third and final. Spinks, second by Fluharty. Mike.
Earlier this year, we started reviewing the entire sign ordinance, and when I refer to signs, all signage in all of our various zoning districts, from residential to the business districts, historic, and auto mile, and more. As far as what signs are permitted, what aren't permitted, obviously there's been some case law centered around this as well, so we wanted to make sure we were in compliance with that. So we've made the changes, and this is what the amendment to this ordinance reflects those changes.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Mizek,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Reports. Mr. Malice.
Thank you, Mayor. Working with the police department, we finished our 2019-2020 deer management plan. It is our intention to bring that and put it in front of City Council at an upcoming work session with the intent that if we get approval, we can start that program in 2020. There's been some data that has obviously shown in some of the areas we've targeted in the past a reduction in the deer vehicle collisions. And I think the staff have done a great job in managing that program over the last few years. So we will get that on an upcoming agenda. I want to take a minute and acknowledge once again the Bedford Auto Mile. Obviously they give us donations that go towards various projects throughout the year, but they're also a huge donor to the Bedford schools and the Bedford Schools Foundation. And the mayor and I were made aware last week that they gave an additional $5,000 donation to the Bedford Schools Foundation. So kudos to that group. I think they're, what they do for our community beyond the city is great. That donation is on top of the $2,500 donation that they make every year for the Bedford Auto Mile Run, as well as some other scholarships that they provide. So, collectively, an outstanding corporate partner. So I wanted to make mention of that. I am happy to mention that there was a press release over the weekend. The last couple of weeks, we've been speaking with the individuals that put on the Wanderlust event production over the summer that took place on the square. They are going to do a small pop-up again in January. I believe the dates are January 9th through the 12th. It's going to take place in and around the train depot. So we'll be working with them again. It's on a much smaller scale. Obviously weather, plays a part of that. But, the event over the summer was so well attended and the response was great. And they want to try to keep those productions in Bedford. So they're going to do a small one in January. Look for that information. We'll start getting that out on our website and social media. For those of you that haven't had a chance or that have young ones, check out the Parks and Recreation Winter Camp. Some of the things that they're offering on a daily basis, it really looks cool. They're going to have a planetarium here from Lake Farm Park. They're doing things with the Metro Parks, with the library. If you have children, this is a new program. Follow them on Facebook. You'll see some of the advertisements that's going out on what's taking place down there. Definitely a good-looking program for our children. Our leaf crews are out. They continue to be out. Obviously, the snow played a little bit of a challenge last week, but again, get those on the tree lawn. We have, I believe, 3 crews out, and we'll get around the city multiple times as quickly as possible. We do have, I mentioned in Councilman Fluharty's ward, Cuyahoga County will be out starting tomorrow. The repair should take about 2 to 3 days, but there is a sinkhole in the area of 127 Northfield. The depth and the repair that has to be made, we're not able to do that in-house. And we have a contract with Cuyahoga County this year to where we can contract through them. They'll come out and make the repair. They notified us that they'll start that tomorrow. And again, Vic, hopefully they'll be finished by the end of the week. And lastly, I just want to mention our friendly reminder, our tree lighting ceremony will take place next Wednesday, the 27th, 6 o'clock sharp. End of report.
We flipped the switch at 6, so be there before. Mr. Montello.
Thank you, Mayor. I had no report, just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and thank you all for coming, and the Auto Mile for all they do, and the report.
Mr. Gambosi.
I'd like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving also, and we're going to have an ordinance today coming up, which is an amendment of what we're doing for 2019, not to be confused with the prior one we tabled, which was 2020. So I'll be going over those major items that we had adjustments to the budget when I do the report later on. The tax department is also going through a non-filers communications to taxpayers, those that we have on the list that we feel should be filing with us, who haven't done so, either to clean up our records of some other reason why they didn't do that, or they need to. So either way, respond to those letters that are going out in the mail and take note of those. That's pretty much it in my report today.
Thank you. Before we get to council, I just want to wish Paula and Andy a happy wedding anniversary.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I didn't expect it. He's a sneaky guy, but thank you so much.
But
And I've
happy-
been as married as almost as long as I've lived in Bedford, which is a better honor yet. A year as long as I'm on this one.
Relax.
A couple of years because I'm the older lady in the marriage. What can I say? I rather quit it all. Thank you.
First, Mr. Saunders.
All right, as Mike alluded to with the leaves and the snow the way it was, those people that had pushed their leaves out into the street, their neighbors are a little upset because the snowplows plowed them into their yards. Please keep the leaves out of the street just in case we end up with another snow like we had before. It seemed like they were pushing more leaves than they were snow at some points. I'd also like to say that Bedford Community Council at the last Lions Club awarded their 2019 Citizen of the Year, and he's sitting right over here. If he would stand up to get a little accolades here. Bill. Well-deserved. He's worked on a lot of different projects throughout the year. In fact, he's probably got tickets tonight for the Lions Club fundraiser, I would assume, too. So I'm sure he'll get up at hearing of citizens and announce how to obtain those, too. So outside of that, I just wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and be safe, because it's one of the heaviest travel times during the roads in this country, and we want everybody to be here for the next meeting, so be careful. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Rhodes.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for coming. I just have a few announcements tonight. First, I want to let you know our next First Friday is December 6th. We'll be featuring organizations from different areas here in Bedford. We are also, the Bedford Downtown Alliance is also looking for volunteers to help us make phone calls, to do follow-ups to our sponsorship letters that went out this week. And last but not least, there is an empty seat here tonight. It's been empty for a couple of months. And the day after Thanksgiving, we'll be dedicating the garden out here to Joyce Daunch at 10 o'clock in the morning. That's November 29th. I think Joyce would love it all if you could come. Very nice little plaque, and she did a lot for our community. That's all I have this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I was going to mention that also for Joyce, very big part of our community for many years. And, so if you can make it 10 o'clock, the day after Thanksgiving, right out here in front, a little ceremony for the plaque. Mrs. Spinks.
Good evening. That's a very appropriate thing to do for Joyce, because I know how instrumental she was for getting that garden out there and so many other things, so that's a very appropriate thing. Just want to say congratulations to Bill. I saw out there I couldn't think of anybody else to deserve that award as much as you, and I know your wife has got it, Diane, has got it in the past, and y'all are just amazing what y'all do for our city. Not everybody knows, I mean, they deliver Meals on Wheels together, they're just a phenomenal team. And Bill, appreciate everything that they do, they're real involved in our church, they go every year to the Operation Christmas Child, they're real involved in doing that every year. They volunteer their time, so we're just very honored to have y'all as residents here, and y'all do so much for our community. I appreciate it. Speaking of our church, I always like to brag on what's going on there, and I hate that we're gonna miss it. Mayor, you're gonna miss this, is the dessert, the annual dessert auction and chili supper. This is something that's for our teen fundraiser. It's the Church of Nazarenes, and you're welcome to come. It's at 5 o'clock. It's on November the 24th. This is just an amazing thing. The mayor last year, we got some good donations because he got a pie in his face. So his wife actually did the bidding for that. So we thank him for our youth, and our youth really at Church of Nazarene, they do a lot. It's an honor to be a member of that. And I've got some good news. I did a essay a couple of months ago, and it was for the Greater Good Science Center at Berkeley, and they were teaming up with the National League of Cities this year, and there will be 17 diverse communities across the country that will be in the polarization and awareness in their cities, and they are Texas, Georgia, Illinois, Alabama, Nevada, Michigan, Washington, Florida, Maryland, Utah, Carolina, Missouri, and I was picked out of all of Ohio to be representing Ohio. So they'll be coming up this Wednesday, and I'm pretty honored to be picked in that group. It's a 3-month fellowship thing, so it's pretty honored to do that. So I'll be bringing back a lot of information from the conference coming up, and I look forward to being a part of this group. End of the report.
Thank you. Ms. Bezek.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. The usual, happy Thanksgiving, enjoy your family, and enjoy that day. I think that day we eat more than on the Christmas holiday, but what can I say? I set the table at my house so nobody goes hungry, and I have a few people that take food too, also, which I did today myself again. Question to our city manager, please. The wastewater treatment plant, has the project been concluded?
No, they're not entirely completed yet,
Okay.
but it should be shortly.
And also, I wanted to compliment you or the city on the beautiful new driveway that they have going down into the plant. Yeah, the work was done very quickly, and it was very nice. I wanted to say that the employees that did come in, that didn't work in our city, were very nice, friendly, and they all waved at our neighbors, and it turned out to be a nice little addition to my end of Ward 4. A lot of people still don't know where the wastewater treatment plant is after all these years, which maybe sometime we should do a tour. And I would like to lead that if I could. And again, thank you for being here. I don't have too much for a report tonight. Just stay healthy and well, and let's enjoy another day with each other. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, one more thing.
Oh,
I looked in on the phone and I was checking what dates are here on this month. Tomorrow, National Equal Opportunity Day. And if you do like cashews, they said November, Saturday before Thanksgiving, is National Cashew Day. So I'm going out to buy some cashews after the meeting. Thank you. Have a good week and a happy Thanksgiving again.
we appreciate that information.
I'm sure you do. Thank you.
Mr. Fluharty.
Way to follow that.
Hey, January 21st to you.
Yeah. Let's see here. Union Street's finally done for
thank God for everybody being able to get through there, and William Street's even done. Traffic's going through, and buses aren't going up down the streets anymore. They were getting so bad, I even got a call from Best Street, somebody, that bus was going down Best Street, I don't know why, but it was. But anyhow, we're hopefully done with some of this for now until they come back out to repave this stuff in the spring. But I was hoping I had a complete report of nothing going on, but then Mike says they're coming back out tomorrow. So anyhow, Mike also was talking about the Auto Mile, donated some money to the school foundation from Bedford. I just now got voted in on that foundation, and I'm on the board now. Starting tomorrow morning, I'm in a meeting already. So that organization does do a lot of good for the kids with scholarships and all kinds of things that they help the kids out for projects. So they need money for science projects and everything else. So what few hours I have left are now gone. So that's just between that, Meals on Wheels, and a few other things, it's keeping me busy. I'm just so glad I retired. And is your anniversary today, actually?
It was the 13th, and of course,
okay,
this week
well-
we had snow and we had 78 degrees when we did say,
I was gonna say, if it was today, you'd be sharing it with today's Mickey Mouse's 90th birthday.
Oh, thank you.
I'm surprised you didn't
I'm
catch
going
that.
to Disneyland,
Yes,
baby.
so, end of report.
All this information we're getting. So helpful.
All our spare time.
Last week, Mike and I attended the NOPEC annual meeting. NOPEC is our electric and gas company that we affiliate with. I hope everybody is members with them. They gave us a nice plaque, which we've been a member since 2002, which means being a member that all our citizens and businesses can contract with NOPEC for their electric and gas service. It's been a worthwhile endeavor with them. Their rates every time might not be the exact lowest, because there's always these companies come along and give it a few cents cheaper, but guaranteed within 6 months you'll be paying 2 or 3 times more than you would have had you stayed with NOPEC. In the long run, NOPEC has a track record of being cheaper than anybody else. Like I say, one moment in time, somebody might be a little cheaper, but beware. We saw evidence of actual bills where 6 months after people signed up with these other companies, these people that are knocking on your doors now, because it's time to be signing up for electric, give you a low rate. They go from maybe $5, and then they jump to $10, and they hope you never look at your bill, so you don't opt out of them. So you don't have to opt out, you're automatically in unless you want to be out. But for day in, day out, they're the best rates going, and they're just good people. Besides just the utilities, they have started a new foundation where they're going to be doing some help to people, including the cities, for projects that they might not be able to do, but they will be able to provide us some money to do things like that. They gave us a check for this year for $30,000.
Yeah, well, they reimbursed us for
Reimbursed,
last
yeah.
year's grant, which was about 50.
Yeah.
We have another 100 coming next year.
Yeah. So,
Grant dollars.
yeah, grant dollars. So we got $150,000 from NOPEC back. We don't get anything from the other companies, plus you got good rates. So I would encourage everybody to sign up with NOPEC if you are not signed up already. They're really dedicated people over there. And yeah, the tree lighting, make sure we flip the switch right at 6 o'clock, so be there ahead of time. Get there early so you can get your donut holes and hot chocolate from the fire department, which they provide every year, and bring the kids, because Santa comes down on the fire truck. It's just fun, and I think now we have all LED lights on the square, so that's all been updated, so it should be brighter and bigger than ever. That's a good thing. Our city hall is going to be lit up this year, and I want to thank our head of maintenance, Tony for doing it. He kind of did this all on his own, went out and measured. Once it's lit up, you'll see it, everything is just precise when he does it. This guy does a fantastic job day in and day out for us, and never looks for any accolades, but we want to give him big thanks for what he does, not just the lighting, but everything. If we need anything done, Tony does it. We needed a podium next to this podium for projectors. He went home and built one, and there it is. This guy does amazing stuff, so well, you pass along our thanks to him and all the work he does very quietly, just does it. And another one of our great unsung heroes employees. So with that, let's move on to business, because we got a huge agenda. We want to get through this tonight. Ordinance number 9744-19.
Amending ordinance number 9653-18, making additional appropriations for current expenditures of the city and declaring for during the year 2019 and declaring an emergency.
Have a motion for suspension by Fluharty, second by Spinks. Call the roll.
Saunders,
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Mizek,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Motion for third and final. Saunders, second by Rhodes.
Yeah, just a few comments about the appropriations that we changed right now tonight. We're going to be increasing police department in the contractual services area for custodial that we didn't do from the beginning of the year, so we do have that increase in there. Been able to decrease the finance department and the bank fees, so we have that noted on here. The income tax, we have one of the larger increases due to one refund that we owe one large company who paid us and wants their funds back. In regards to our transfers out to our fire levy, we do have some overtime to cover quite a bit, and also this year I'm happy to say that we're expecting not to be borrowing from our reserves, so we won't need that transfer out of our reserves to the general fund to pick up any extra costs. And finally, our capital improvement, our signage that we have, the contracts that we have let out there for $132,000, we'll be authorizing those this evening also.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Mizek,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Ordinance number 9745-19.
Authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with the Cuyahoga County Department of Public Works and declaring an emergency.
And need a motion for suspension by Rhodes, second by Mezek. Call the roll.
Saunders,
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Mizek,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
And motion for third and final by Spinks, second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please. Or no, Mike, you want to go with that one?
Thanks, Mayor. Similar to what I had mentioned earlier, in working with the county, this Northfield Road with the sinkhole, this is a perfect example. This is actually a contract for 2020, and it's for projects like this. It's for storm, sanitary, sewer repairs that we don't have either the equipment or the capability of making such repairs. We have a standard contract with the county where we can contact them and they'll come out, do the work. Obviously, we would have to reimburse them, but this allows for a clean contract where we can rely on them on projects that we can't address in-house.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Mizek,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Before we get to the hearing of citizens, I just want to offer an apology to Mrs. Spinks for my letting conversation go on a little too long last week with some inappropriate and untrue comments that were made. And I just want to say sorry that I let it go that long. And I try to keep everybody, let everybody have ample time to talk, but sometimes people get a little carried away, and I just want to apologize for that. So, with the hearing of citizens, if you want to speak, please come forward, state your name, your address, and your comment. I knew Bill would have some.
Bill Hassel, 685 Archer Road. Just wanted to, I got scholarship tickets for the Bedford Lions Club. Anybody's interested? I'll see you.
I'll see you after there, Bill.
Okay.
I'll catch it too, Bill.
Anyone else? Seeing none, can I have a motion for adjournment by Mezak, second by Rhodes? Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Mizek,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Thanks for coming.